Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to read an interesting story, a play by William Shakespeare, The Comedy of Errors. Okay, it is a play written by Shakespeare in early 1590s. It is published in 1623 along with other plays in the first folio. Sources. The two sources, number one, John Gower's English version of the Greek romance Apollonius of Tyre. It is the first source. Number two, Roman playwright Plautus's Menechmi. This is the second source. Now the play tells the story of two sets of identical twins. I told you this is going to be an interesting story. They were separated at birth and accidentally reunited years later in the same town. Now the name of the town is Ephesus. Okay, let's start the story. Two towns. One is Ephesus and the other is Syracuse. Now, there is not a good relation among them. There is enmity between them. Between Ephesus and Syracuse or Syracuse, you can tell. There is a law that is a ban against travel between these two rival countries. The Duke of Ephesus has declared if any person from Syracuse will be seen in Ephesus, he will be put to death, or otherwise he can give 1000 marks as ransom. Clear? That Ephesus and Syracuse, those two countries, they are in bitter enmity. There is a ban that any person from any person from Syracuse, if seen in the town of Ephesus, he will be put to death, or otherwise he have to pay 1000 marks as ransom. Okay. Now what happened? One day, Aegeon, a merchant from Syracuse, has arrived in Ephesus. So, he is sentenced to death by Ephesian Duke Solinus. The name of the Duke is Solinus. When Solinus's people found Aegeon in the streets of Ephesus, they informed him, and so Aegeon is captivated, and as a punishment he is put to death, otherwise he can give 1000 marks. Now, Aegeon informs the Duke about the reason behind his arrival. He has come in search of his wife and one of the twins who were separated from him 18 years ago in a shipwreck. This is Duke and this is the captivated Aegeon, the merchant from Syracuse. Okay. Now the story starts. The story, what is the story? The story is told by Aegeon. To whom this story is told? The story is told to the Duke. He is telling his life story to the Duke. Why he has come from Syracuse into Ephesus. Okay. So we all are thrown back to flashback in 18 years ago. Let's go. Time traveling. 18 years ago. Aegeon was married to beautiful Amelia. After what happened? After the marriage, Aegeon was forced to go to Epidamnum for some business reason. And later Amelia joined him there. In Epidamnum, his wife Amelia gave birth to twin sons. These are cute twin sons. Now, coincidentally, a destitute woman gave birth to twin sons in the same inn. But the poor couple sold their sons to the merchant. They cannot took care of their sons and they could not provide care for their sons, so they planned to sell them. And Aegeon bought them as servants for their own children. Next, they were selling back. Who are they? Amelia, Aegeon, their twin sons and twin servants. They all were selling back to their homeland Syracuse. But sudden storm and rain enveloped them. They could save their life, but got separated. The ship damaged and break into the middle. They hold the mast of the ship and they saved themselves, but they were separated. And it is the story can tell anything. So when they got separated, they are divided in similar parts, equal parts. Means Amelia, one son, one servant kid at the one hand, Aegeon, other son, other servant kid on the other hand. So equal part. Now Amelia, one son, one servant kid settled in Ephesus. And Aegeon along with the other son and the servant settled in Syracuse. Okay. But later we find that Amelia will be too much depressed and disturbed by this fate, and she will live the common mundane life and join in an abbey in Syracuse. In Ephesus. Okay. Now time passed. Coincidentally, both sets of boys, again another story of boys are given the same name, Antipholus. You have found that they set in Ephesus and they set in Syracuse. Okay. Amelia, whatever name Amelia gave to her son and servant, the same name Aegeon gave to her son and servant. But the title they changed due to their according to their place name. Antipholus of Syracuse and Antipholus of Ephesus, and Dromio of Syracuse and Dromio of Ephesus. Is not it interesting? Now you found there Antipholus of Ephesus and Dromio of Ephesus. They are one pair, one of the twin brothers and one of the twin servants. They are in Ephesus with their mother. Now Amelia, who will later join in the abbey, and the another pair is Dromio of Syracuse and Antipholus of Syracuse. They are under the guide of Aegeon. Clear? Okay, now let's go next. When the son brought up by Aegeon reached the age 18, he became curious about his lost brother and set off in search of his brother and mother, accompanied by the servant Dromio. So, who is set off in a journey? Antipholus of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse are set off in a journey in search of the brother and mother. Now, Aegeon also left the house in search of his lost family. The father thought that what can I do staying at home? I can go out and search for them. And after 5 years passed, Aegeon reached Ephesus. After 5 years, they are traveling throughout the world in many parts searching for them. And after 5 years, Aegeon reached Ephesus. And then the tragic incident happened. He was sentenced to death, or he has to collect the ransom. Now the Duke, after listening till now, the story is narrated by Aegeon. Okay. Now the Duke takes pity on him and grants him 1 day's leave to collect the money to save himself from the gallows. Okay. Now what happened? In the meantime, Antipholus of Syracuse, who has said before, and he is also roaming in different parts of the country, and he has said before when he was 18 years old, and now 5 years have passed, and he has come with his servant Romeo of Syracuse, arrive in Ephesus. So now everyone is in Ephesus. You understand this point? Aegeon has arrived after 5 years of traveling in Ephesus, and Antipholus of Syracuse, who had gone from his house 18 years, when he was 18 years, maybe he may have gone even before 5 years, maybe. Aegeon also left house and traveled for 5 years. Maybe there is 1 or 2 years gap from the son's departure and the father's departure. Anyway, that is not our main concern. Now everyone has arrived in Ephesus. Aegeon, Antipholus of Syracuse, Dromio of Syracuse, and all are there already, the other twins. So the scene is Ephesus. Now they are all known, Antipholus of Ephesus. Dromio of Syracuse, they are Ephesus, and they are mistaken for their lost twins. So Antipholus of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse are mistaken as their twins, Antipholus of Ephesus and Dromio of Ephesus. But they were well known about the fact, or they come to know, that if they tell that they are from Syracuse, then they will be put to death. So they told the people that they are from Epidamnum, and there is no enmity between Epidamnum and Ephesus. So when they tell the people that they are from Epidamnum, not for Syracuse, or they did not mention the name of Syracuse, they are escaped the death sentence. But the things got messy because of the twin sons and twin servant. They look alike, but they don't know each other, and you can understand what is going on. When the two sets of twins and servants meet in the same scene without knowing each other, the plot of the play flows in different directions, leading to confusion and mistaken identity. And series of hilarious mishaps and misunderstandings are going to happen. Adriana. Who is Adriana? The wife of Antipholus of Ephesus. She mistakes Antipholus of Syracuse as her husband and takes him to her home for dinner. Oh my God. This is Adriana and this is Luciana. They are sister, elder sister and younger sister. Adriana is married to Antipholus of Ephesus, but she takes Antipholus of Syracuse to her home. Now Antipholus of Ephesus suspects his wife's fidelity. Oh my God, he is taking another person in her room. She is a bad woman. Now Antipholus of Syracuse falls in love with Luciana, the sister of Adriana. Luciana finds it's okay, but he is my brother-in-law. It's crazy, it is weird, she thinks. Now goldsmith Angelo, another mishap, goldsmith Angelo. Antipholus of Ephesus, he ordered the goldsmith to make a gold chain. As per the order, goldsmith Angelo makes the gold chain, but he mistakenly gives the gold chain to Antipholus of Syracuse, and he later demands the money from Antipholus of Ephesus. When Antipholus of Ephesus disagrees to pay him, the things take wrong turn. And why did Antipholus of Ephesus will agree? Why will he agree? Because he did not receive the thing he ordered. So Antipholus of Ephesus disagrees to pay the money because he does not receive the item. And Angelo, who mistakenly gives the gold chain to Antipholus of Syracuse, is very angry. because he needs money. Angelo needs money for paying his debt to someone, otherwise he will be imprisoned. Now everyone starts behaving strangely and takes other as mad or guilty. Okay. Adriana thinks that her husband, Antipholus of Ephesus, is mad, is going mad and insane. Finally, at the last scene, Antipholus of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse take refuge in an abbey. Aegeon cannot collect the money and is about to be hanged. When the abbess, Emilia, reveals herself, I told you earlier that Emilia get depressed and he joined an abbey. He reveals herself as the long lost wife of Aegeon. Emilia identifies that her twin sons, and all the mist, all the complication just dissolve. The twins reunited with their father, with their family, and they explain the circumstances of their separation, and all the confusion, misunderstanding, all are resolved. So the play ends with a joyful celebration. Okay. Now main characters: Duke, the ruler of the Ephesus, who listened to Aegeon's story and shows mercy to him by delaying the execution. Otherwise, if he just hurried in his decision, then nothing will happen, then the story will not happen. And his name is Solinus. Aegeon, the father of the twin brothers who were separated from them when they were babies. Emilia, this will be Emilia. She is the lost wife of Aegeon. We never meet her till the end of the play. She works as the abbess in Ephesus. Antipholus of Ephesus. Okay, 1 second. Emilia. There is somewhere it is Emilia. It will be Emilia. Now, Antipholus of Ephesus is a wealthy merchant who lives in Ephesus and is married to Adriana. He is one of the identical twins separated at birth, and he is confused by the arrival of his twin brother in the town, Antipholus of Syracuse. He is the another identical twins. We already know much about them. Adriana, the wife of Antipholus of Ephesus. Luciana, Adriana's sister with whom Antipholus of Syracuse falls in love. Dromio of Ephesus, Dromio of Syracuse, they are twin servants. Angelo, the goldsmith. There are other minor characters like courtesans, merchants, attendants, officers. They also play some role in these chaotic events of this play. Now have a look at the theme: identity. Identity, who is who. This kind of mistaken identity, this kind of confusion and mistaken identity is a central theme of this play. The characters are struggling to understand who they are, and it is very confusing. Love and jealousy you can find here. Adriana suspects her husband that he is not faithful to her. Again, Antipholus of Ephesus finds his wife with another person. So these things are going on. Family and reconciliation. The theme of family and reconciliation is explored here. The family members who get separated many years ago finally reunited with a happy ending. Appearance versus reality. So the persons who are appearing as this person is not actually this person. So this kind of confusion between appearance and reality is working in this play's structure. Chaos and order. The play also deals with the theme of chaos and order. At the arrival of the two twin brothers, the chaos starts and in the town, and this leads to confusion. And finally, when truth is revealed, the order is also restored. Okay. So with comedy of errors, today we finish our class. Thank you.